Snake eyes on the clock. This Texans game is over. So join me on the field, in the locker room, in the tunnels, wherever, post-game, along with my good pal John Harris, the radio sideline reporter, as we break down a little bit of what just happened with your Texans in today's game. And please, take a moment to like, subscribe, and review this podcast. There's nothing else like it. Nobody else is on the field post-game like this covering your Texans. Here we go. Well, look who it is, H-Town. We got Will Anderson back. Well, you missed 2 weeks. You come back with a vengeance, back-to-back stacks. How important was that for you?
Man, I think it's just all about the team. I got to give all glory to God, man. He's blessed this team tremendously with a bunch of talent, a bunch of great guys, a bunch of great coaches, a bunch of great teammates, man. Coach talked about it all week. It's just emptying the tank, and I think that's exactly what we did today. We emptied the tank, and everybody left it on the field today.
Everybody in the NFL this time of year is banged up. The defensive line for the Texans especially so. You were missing a few starters today. You're banged up as well. What's it say about the effort of you guys up front to do what you did? All the sacks. You hold them to about 50 yards rushing. How important was the D-line today?
Yeah, it was very important, man. We just showed grit. You know what I'm saying? We talk about it all the time. It starts with up front, and the fitness was up front, man. And everybody came to work. Everybody had that mentality that we won't be denied. And, you know, we're striving to be one of the best D-lines in the league, and that's the main goal. And we just want to keep going and get to the playoffs.
You were back today. Blake Cashman was back today. Your buddy C.J. Stroud was back today. What sort of lift did that give the team?
You know, they did a great job, you know, without us, but just having us back, man, it just, the togetherness as a team, man. We all one family. You know, everybody's together, and I think that's what we did. We played together. We worked for together. Like, all week we was talking about play for the person beside you, and I think everybody did a doggone good job of doing that today.
And you got 1 week to go. You head to Indianapolis. You win. You're in the playoffs no matter what. How sweet a feeling is that for you?
Man, it's a sweet feeling for all of us, man. We got to reach that goal, and we just got to keep chopping wood and keep going. Love y'all, H-Town. Thank you to all the fans. Let's go.
Walking through the tunnels after a runaway win. Runaway win. How sweet is that, John? You beat these guys down. You never trail. You lead throughout. What a way to finish the home campaign of the regular season, right?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. This is probably the most complete win, and I think the offense would tell you they left some points on the field. I mean, I think CJ will say that in his post-game presser, but it just felt like the offense had good rhythm today. Run game, pass game, everything seemed to fit together. Some struggles in the red zone, so you got to get cleared up before they
Timeout, Vanderwife and young Vandermeer walking by us.
Vandermeers, Vandermeer, yes, there we go. I'm doing an interview, Lane. Just to see him do that against that team here, for the last 4 tries here, that team is physically beating you up, and it's been tough. And today you held Henry in check again. You didn't give up explosive passes. That was one of the things I thought about for the game, was how the Texans have been giving up a lot of explosive plays. And in games in which the other team has had more explosive passes in particular, the Texans are 1-6. But in games in which they've been the one doing the explosive playmaking, they're 7-1. And so it was imperative to get some of those 20-plus pass plays today and limit them on the other side. And I think they were able to do that all the way throughout. Defense is fantastic. It's 13 sacks against them in 2 games.
45 rushing yards allowed today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a tribute to what that defense was able to do today. And look, that defense needed to do it. That defense needed to respond because the Cleveland Browns came in here and stomped the mud hole in them, and they needed to respond. And it's good to see Will Anderson in the first half the way that he did with those 2 sacks. Derek Barnett. I mean, the Titans really didn't have, whether it was Andre Dillard or Jalen Duncan, they didn't have an answer to what the Texans were bringing. So they've got to bring this same fight up to Indianapolis, because when Indianapolis came here, they embarrassed these guys in week 2. And so now it's time to return the favor.
No doubt. That's a different Indianapolis team. This is a different Texans team than the one they saw, but this is still an excellent Indy team. And you and I are going to talk about it this week, but let's focus on this game. Boy, it's good to have C.J. Stroud back. That's an obvious statement, but he just looked in control, in command, never really faced any duress. I mean, he was clean almost all day long.
Yeah, and that's what you had to. That had to be number 1 on the board. When they walked in for offensive meetings this week, it had to be up on the board for the offensive line. CJ doesn't get touched. Like, that's just it. And however you got to do it. And they were able to do it with 5. They didn't have to spend a lot of tight ends and running backs. They were able to do it with 5 guys. And I think that's a real big feather in the cap of the offensive line, and one that was reconfigured when Laramie went out and George Fant had to go to left tackle. And I know people are like, well, wait a second, go from right to left. That's not that. It's a big change. It's a big, big thing. and the Texans were able to handle that. George Fant was able to handle that, and we'll see how we go about it the next few weeks or the next week, how they go about it. So I just love the performance today. The offense had good rhythm. It had some, what they say, cool runnings, rhythm and rhyme. I mean, they definitely had that. But defensively, they just played. I mean, if they were wearing the red jerseys today, you would have said they're the fire ants because they were just all over the place. They locked down and clamped down on the goal line stand, which was fantastic. Just a really, really fun day. To not have to sit here and sweat one out in the fourth quarter was kind of nice.
All right, you got to go interview the head coach, D'Amico Ryans. John Harris, thanks so much for the time. Congratulations. And now it's on to some of the fun we had in the locker room with some of the players. Tight end Brevin Jordan has a touchdown today, 2 catches, 19 yards. Congrats on the win. How's it feel first and foremost to get that W?
That was huge, man. I mean, we have the mindset right now, we have 8 quarters left for the rest of our lives. We have to win 8 quarters, empty the tank. And today we had 4 quarters and we emptied the tank. We feel like we still got a lot left out there, but man, huge win. We needed it, huge win.
Tell me about the touchdown. What happened on that one?
Yeah, so we actually caught that play earlier on the first drive, but on the first drive, I blocked the DN. I motioned over and blocked the DN. So it was kind of set up to run it again the next drive. And our OC, my tight end coach, CJ, they gave me the confidence. They said, we're going to run it. Let's do it. And so they called it, and I scored, man. It was just a huge opportunity, man. I'm just glad they trusted me to call the play again.
And really, from that point on, you guys lead by double digits the rest of the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep, man. It was huge, man. The defense, lights out. That scoop and score was huge for us, man. It gave us a lot of momentum to keep our foot on the gas, man, and it paid off today. It paid off.
How much fun was it having number 7 back in the huddle? I know you like the other 2 guys, but there's something different about C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, there's something different about C.J. Stroud, man. He's a West Coast cat. I'm a West Coast cat, so I understand kind of his aura and his thought process a little bit. But man, the dude is unbelievable, man. Me and Dawn actually said in the huddle, we were like, man, isn't it amazing to just have him back? Like it just took a second just to be like, man, it's a different energy, man, with him in the huddle for us.
You bring up the energy. You bring up 4 quarters left in the tank. Massive showdown coming up in Indianapolis. They win today. Big one. Mm-hmm. You win, you're in the playoffs no matter what.
Nice, man. Huge, man. Indianapolis was an early loss for us, but we really didn't have our identity molded yet. So for us, man, this is one of those games where it was circled on the calendar for us, man. We got a victory Monday, but we got to get back to work, man. We're excited. Whether it's on Saturday or Sunday, we're going to go out there. We're going to empty the tank for 4 quarters.
Yeah, you bring that up. That was a different team for you guys. They're a different team as well. I think you guys like what you got going.
Yeah, man, we're very confident, as a team. Offense, defense, special teams, man, we feel like if we put all 3 phases together, all 11 men on each 3 phases, play their best ball, empty the tank, man, we feel like we can do whatever we want to do. If we empty the tank, all 11 guys on all 3 phases, we feel like we can accomplish anything we want, and that includes a Lombardi.
A touchdown catch for Brevin Jordan today breaks things open. Brevin, thanks so much for the time.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my guy.
Hey, Desmond, how sweet is it to be in a locker room this late in the season and be in this position?
Man, it's great to be back here, man, with my brothers, big family, man. We all just play together, and that's what you see out there every time we step on the field. Our performance, it speaks for itself. Our defense, it speaks for itself. Our offense, when we got CJ in there, it speaks for itself. We just all want to continue to keep playing for each other.
So many things to point to defensively that you guys did well. Let's start with the score. How sweet is that, scoring as a defense for the first time all year?
Oh, it's great, man. That's a big accomplishment for our defense each and every year, getting a defensive touchdown. We made it come true this game, so, we just want to keep that momentum into next week going to Indy. 45
yards on the ground as a whole for the Titans, only 42 for Derrick Henry. You guys absolutely bottled the guy up. He had less than 50 in the 2 games combined. What did you guys do run defense-wise today that was so effective?
I feel like we kept the same game plan from game 1 against these guys. I think he only had 9 yards on 20-something carries last time. We gave up a little bit more, but like I said, it's about everybody getting to the ball with intentions to get the ball off the ball carrier.
And then on the offensive side, they get the 10-0 lead, and you guys don't look back. You guys were in control for the whole time. What was it like having CJ out there as a defensive player and seeing that?
It's a momentum builder for sure. We know the capabilities that CJ has. We got him here for a reason. And we know that whatever he do, we just going to back him up no matter what it is, and that's what it has to be with this team. We feed off each other's energy. If the offense down, defense got to pick him up. If the defense down, offense pick him up. You see what happens when we both going. So, we can, like I said, we got a bigger opportunity ahead of us this next coming week as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You've played in the playoffs before, and if you win next week, you guys are going to the playoffs. How sweet is that, getting back to this position, and how important is this game?
It's for the division as well. if I'm not mistaken.
The Jags lose, yeah.
I think it's for the division as well. So, I mean, we got to just take care of our part and let everything else settle itself.
Desmond King, congrats on the victory. Best of luck.
Thank you, Drew.
We got right tackle George Fant, but today you played some left tackle. How was it, first and foremost, getting in there and getting that sort of action on that side?
Yeah, man, it was cool. I've kind of done it my whole career, so, being able to play both sides has its advantages, so it felt good.
On the whole, you guys keep CJ very clean today. Great effort by the offensive line. What was working for y'all?
I just think that we came out with a certain effort to pass rotate really well and then run the ball really well as well. I mean, I just think we just went out there and played the game that we wanted to play.
You played this game a while. What's it like being in a locker room like this, late in the season, with a chance to do something really special next week?
Yeah, man, it's honestly been a while that I've been to the playoffs or been in this position to get to the playoffs, man. So, man, I said it all year since I've been here, man. I really enjoyed this place. I really enjoyed this offensive line and this offense in general, So we just got to stay on the little things. It's going to be a rough game next week. It's going to be tough, but we got all the people we need in this locker room to go win it.
Yeah, that was a game you guys lost in week 2, but that was a different Texans team. This is a different Colts team as well. It stands to reason. It's a good matchup.
Yeah, it's going to be a good matchup, man. We're going against a good defensive front, but we're really confident in what we can do. And we got guys that can play some really good ball, man. So, unfortunately, LT went down today, but I feel like that's what I was brought here to do, be able to come and step in either side. I was able to do that, man. So happy to go out there and help us get a win.
I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up, you guys were able to run the ball really well today, too. How important was that in this win?
Very important, man. I feel like today was a very balanced game on offense today. We ran the ball really well. We protected really well. Great communication today. And like I said, we just decided to keep moving. And we got one more in the schedule, man. We got 4 more quarters to go, so we're excited to go get them.
Last thing, how much fun is it seeing the defense get a score today? Defense on the whole do what they did.
First one of the year. I think that might be the first defensive score we had this year. So I think that was the one thing they needed on defense, to get a defensive score, and they did it today. So happy for them.
George Fant, congrats on the victory. Thanks so much for the time. Best of luck this week.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
It's fun to talk in a winning locker room with Kareem Jackson, safety for the Texans. What a whirlwind week for you. What was it like today?
Obviously, for me, I haven't played ball in a little bit over a month, but just anxious, for me. I mean, obviously, it's great to be back here. New locker room, new team. I mean, the energy here since day one was great. Just happy to be a part of it. For me, it's just all about being a piece to the puzzle to do whatever I can to help this team win. Yeah,
as a defense, you guys combine and you allow 45 rushing yards to a guy and a team that's really run at will. You weren't here for a lot of that, but he's run at will over this team over the last 5 years. But the last 2 weeks really shut Derrick Henry down. What were you guys able to do in the run game?
Just a collective effort. All 11 guys getting to the ball, starting with the guys up front. And then in the linebackers as well. Dez was huge in the run game as well today. So those guys kind of started it off. I mean, everybody just getting to the ball. I mean, you gotta be a collective effort against these guys. With Derrick Henry. So, I think that was obviously that was a point of emphasis coming in, and we executed that.
It's cool seeing you guys score on defense.
Oh, definitely cool to see guys score, especially the big guys. Anytime they can scoop and score, get in the paint. Obviously, it's great to score as a defense, however you can, but to see the big guys, create a fumble and be able to scoop and score for the trifecta, it's great.
You know a thing or two about that. You had 3 pick sixes in your career. In fact, if you were to get one more, you would tie Jonathan Joseph for the franchise lead.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, for me, it's always about, getting the ball. I mean, if I could do that, I'll be be in great company with my guy, J-Jo. So I'm looking forward to that. Got one more chance at it, next week. For me, it's all about continuing to learn and, getting comfortable in the scheme and just out there, to make plays.
Last thing, big game coming up. You're no stranger to big games late in the month, late in the year with this Texans team. But you go to Indianapolis, win, and you are in.
That's what it's about. This late in the season, to have to be able to play meaningful football. I mean, you did what you were supposed to do early on. As a team, got to have a great week of preparation so we can go to Indy and get a win.
Congrats on the victory, my friend. Good to have you back.
All right, thank you.